Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And today, a pretty nice day with lots of nice temperatures. In fact, mild all over north central Washington. As we look down at parts of Rock Island, you can see the Rock Island Golf Course at the bottom of your screen and some high clouds out there today, which did filter our sunshine somewhat this afternoon and kept our temperatures down. But all in all, a beautiful late August day today all across north central Washington. And as we head into the weekend, a little bit turbulent. Well, I guess turbulent, you could say, as we move into our Saturday, mainly because of breezy conditions. If you are headed to area waterways like Lake Chelan, you could run into some winds tomorrow between 10 and 20 miles an hour, maybe even gusts higher than that, and that will be mainly for Saturday. We'll see a little bit of cloudiness as well on Saturday, and then things get very nice on Sunday before we see a warming trend begin next week. And we'll talk much more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office is issuing a warning about a new telephone scam making the rounds in the Wenatchee area. The Wenatchee State Patrol, or Washington State Patrol rather, will conduct a statewide slow down, move over emphasis patrol starting today and continuing through Sunday. And the Icicle Fund has recently dispersed over $134,000 in grants to 13 area nonprofits. But first, we begin tonight. Blewett Pass was closed in both directions for more than 2 hours today after a late morning motorhome fire. According to Trooper John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol, fire crews were able to get the fire out before it spread to nearby trees. The motorhome burst into flames about 6 miles north of the summit on Highway 97. There were no reports of injuries. The highway was reopened about 1 o'clock this afternoon with flaggers controlling traffic. Well, while assisting with the domestic violence call Thursday, Soap Lake Police Chief Ryan Cox saw a familiar vehicle drive by. The green Cadillac belonged to former Soap Lake City Councilwoman Judith Tremaine, who honked every time she passed the chief. However, she passed away last year, and shortly after her death, her home had been burglarized and her Cadillac stolen.
So I was leaving a domestic violence altercation call. The county asked us to assist with them. And I was out there, and I was just clearing it, and I saw the vehicle coming, and I recognized the vehicle as being one of our former councilwomen's that I knew was stolen from her house in the previous months. So I turned on, and immediately the vehicle took off, turned on the next available street down a dirt road, and when I caught up to it, it's turned into one of our local houses that the county and my department is at numerous of times. And we were able to get all four of the occupants detained, and wound up arresting the front driver and the front passenger.
Arrested on several charges and warrants were the driver, 58-year-old Ross Willard Andrews, and 21-year-old Giovanni Lopez. Cox said he called Tremaine's daughter, who lives in California, and she just happened to be arriving in Soap Lake. The car has now been returned to her. Well, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is issuing a warning about a new telephone scam making the rounds in the Wenatchee area. Officials say people are receiving automated calls from different numbers saying that they're being investigated and their social security number is going to be suspended. A recorded voice tells the person that their social security number has been compromised and they need to press 1 to speak to a real person. In one case, the scammer said the FBI was listening to the call because a stolen vehicle was found in Texas with several pounds of drugs, and that the victim's name and information was found in the vehicle, and in order to clear their name and avoid being charged, they needed to send money. Otherwise, warrants would be issued for their arrest. The victim hung up, and call then came through showing FBI on the victim's caller ID. Please remember to never give out your financial information or your social security number to anyone over the phone. The Washington State Patrol will conduct a statewide slow down, move over emphasis patrol starting today and continuing through Sunday. The purpose is to help troopers, roadway workers, emergency responders, and citizens stay safe and bring awareness to the move over law. The Icicle Fund, in an effort to support projects and initiatives that resonate with the environment, art, and history. That's the mission of the Icicle Fund. They've recently dispersed $134,696 in grants to 13 area nonprofits. Some of the grant award recipients include Cascade School District, the Merck Playhouse Society, and Upper Valley Historical Society. Some of the highest grant amounts awarded were to Stage Kids for $30,000 and Classroom in Bloom for $30,833. The grants came through the Initiative Grants and Strategic Project Grants program. The Icicle Fund has been quietly doling out up to $40 million to nonprofit organizations scattered in north central Washington for over 20 years. Coming up next, you can expect to see more smoke this fall as the U.S. Forest Service begins its prescribed burning season. Wenatchee Valley firefighters are teaming up to show their continued support for the Muscular Dystrophy Association as its members kick off the annual Fill the Boot fundraising campaign. And Sunday is a free day where a Discovery Pass is not required to visit a Washington State park. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
If you want to work in IT, here's a tip. Employers value IT certifications. 91% say they play a key role in hiring. 72% require them for certain job openings. Improve your odds of getting the job. Enroll in the Computer Networking Systems program at Charter College. In 14 months, you could earn an associate degree and 6 IT certifications. Get started at chartercollegeIT.com, where we work to get you to work.
Welcome back. In another news, it's been a relatively smoke-free summer due to fewer wildfires here in north central Washington. You can expect to see more smoke, though, this fall as the U.S. Forest Service begins its prescribed burning season. Officials say over 11,000 acres are planned this year, but fewer acres may be completed if conditions are not favorable. The scheduled prescribed burning will be conducted in Chelan, Okanogan, Kittitas, and Yakima counties. Residents and visitors can expect to see and smell some smoke each day during burning operations. Forest Fire Management Officer Rob Allen says every acre we burn now is one less acre burning under high-intensity, unsafe, dense smoke conditions in future summers. Maps are available on the Okanogan and Wenatchee National Forest website. Well, Wenatchee Valley Firefighters L453, which includes members from Chelan County Fire District 1 and Douglas County Fire District 2, they're teaming up to show their continued support for the Muscular Dystrophy Association as its members kick off the annual Fill the Boot fundraising campaign. The event's goal is to raise critical funds to help transform the lives of kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related muscular debilitating diseases. Continuing a 65-year tradition, dedicated firefighters will hit the streets with boots in hand, asking pedestrians, motorists, customers, and other passerbys to make a donation. They will be at the intersection of 9th Street and Valley Mall Parkway from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Remember, that's tomorrow, August 24th. Since 1954, firefighters nationwide have raised more than $650 million for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Well, this Sunday, August 25th, is the 103rd birthday of the National Park Service. To commemorate the occasion, Sunday is a free day where a Discovery Pass is not required to visit a Washington State park. If you can't make the Sunday free day, you've still got 3 more this year. National Public Lands Day is coming up on September 28th, Veterans Day, November 11th, and the day after Thanksgiving on November 29th. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone.
Make plans to attend the August 30th grand opening of the all-new Goodwill on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Some jobs take more than skill. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, and veterans. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The NCW Fair celebrates its 130th year all weekend at the fairgrounds in Waterville with all the traditional elements that make up a fair. A carnival, a rodeo, livestock, food, crafts, and music. The fair runs until 9:30 tonight, 9 to 9 on Saturday, which is Kids Day, and 9 to 6 on Sunday. If you plan on visiting this weekend, Douglas County Commissioner Kyle Steinberg has a preview in tonight's feature story.
This is Kyle Steinberg, your Douglas County Commissioner from District Number 2, just up here at North Central Washington Fair, enjoying this absolutely beautiful day that we have up here. Just want to invite everybody up here to come and experience this. Bring your kids up, let them look at all the animals. All the barns are full. Have a bunch of exhibits up here to check out. Have some new facilities to check out, new barns, new show arenas. And tonight, in case you haven't heard, we have an excellent concert planned. We have Craig Morgan going to be live tonight here up at the North Central Washington District Fair. So love to invite everybody up here to come and experience this great fair.
Not that one, I don't think the world is sold. Just hearing what we're told, and I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. It's I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And with the NCW Fair happening in Waterville, as you just saw, we'll talk about the forecast for the fair coming up in a little bit. It really isn't too bad. And not too bad. Look at this shot outside our weather window today. It's looking down at the beautiful city of Rock Island. You can see the Rock Island Golf Course just to the bottom of your screen. We did see quite a few high clouds out there, especially during our afternoon hours today. That's in front of a cold front, another one that's moving through the state. We saw one a couple of days ago too. We thought we might see some rain out of that. That just didn't happen, but the winds kicked up, and that's really what we expect as this one moves through. Taking a look at what happened today, temperature-wise, it really wasn't bad, but just a little bit below unofficially, but where we should be for this time of year. 84 is our normal high temperature, 81 unofficially today. 58 is where we started the day. 59 now is our normal low temperature, just ticked below 60 degrees. Record high was a hot one back in 1970 at 101 degrees, and and a cool overnight low back in 1992 at only 42 degrees. Still at 4.73 inches of precip for the year. Sunrise this morning was at 6:08 and the sun set now before 8 o'clock. It's at 7:59. Let's take a look and take a peek at how your Saturday shapes up as we get into our weekend. One big factor for our Saturday, besides temperatures that will be about normal for this time of year, 86 in Ephrata and Moses Lake, 82 in Wenatchee. All of us, though, will see a wind 10 to 20 miles an hour tomorrow, with gusts possibly as high as 30 miles an hour. 81 the high in Entiat, 81 in Chelan, and 85 your Saturday afternoon high temperature up in Omak. Taking a look at our surface loop tonight, we can expect mostly cloudy skies, breezy conditions. Here is that line. That's the frontal boundary of the cold front that will be moving through Washington State over the next 24 hours. Not too bad tonight, 5 to 15 mile an hour winds, but as we get into Saturday, remember the purple and red colors. That's pretty strong winds, and we will see that right in central Washington tomorrow. West winds 10 to 20 miles an hour with gusts around 30 miles an hour. It will be kind of misleading though. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. Temperatures won't be all that bad, but just a lot of wind. As we end the weekend then on Sunday, light winds, sunny skies. It will be unseasonably cool on Sunday as we barely get to 80 and above 80 degrees for Sunday. But boy, by the time we get into Monday, all that's going to change. High pressure will dominate all of the western U.S., and that will be the beginning of a nice warming trend for all of us beginning on Monday. As we get into Tuesday, things really begin to warm up. It will be sunny and hot. High pressure right here will bring some warm air from the south and move it right into Washington State. We're talking temperatures right around 90 degrees as we get into Tuesday, and even hotter than that as we move into midweek Wednesday. Sunny and hot. Look at that all across the western United States, even back into Montana with temperatures in the mid-80s there. Thursday, partly cloudy skies, maybe some changes in our weather, but we'll still remain unseasonably warm with high temperatures at the end of next week. Once again, almost near 90 degrees. Let's take a look at your quick lube and tune 7-day forecast tonight. Almost where we should be for an overnight low of 60 degrees. Friday, partly cloudy, 85. But remember, this is the wrong forecast. Saturday, I should say, we will see some windy conditions tomorrow and 83 degrees, 85 on Sunday and sunny skies, and things will really begin to warm up then, as I mentioned, as we get into the first part of next week. Upper 80s on Monday, around 90 on Tuesday, and into the lower 90s as we get into your midweek Wednesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz in for Eric Granstrom, and we'll have more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen and the cabinets and the floors and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Mary Maids.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel. Happy Friday, everybody. Dan Kuntz filling in for Eric Granstrom, who's in beautiful Carson, California. That's the first time anybody has ever used the word beautiful and Carson, California in the same sentence. Let's talk high school football. Of course, last year, Eastmont won the Big 9 title. They ran the table in league play. They were 6-0 in league play, 9-3 overall. Sunnyside finished second last year. They were 5-1. And the Wenatchee Panthers finished third at 4-2. Wildcat head coach Michael Don says he expects those three teams to battle again for the league championship this year.
You know, high school football is always tough to figure out when you're talking about 15 to 18-year-old kids. You never know. And so, but just looking off last year's stuff, I know Wenatchee's going to be tough. They got a lot of really good players back. That'll be a fun one. Sunnyside's going to be tough. Their coaching staff's done an amazing job over there. Their kids play hard. They're tough, hard-nosed kids that get after you, and they've got some speed. West Valley of Yakima's got a returning starter quarterback that started as a freshman for him half last year. He's a year-round quarterback kid, so he's going to be pretty good. And then after that, you're probably looking at Moses Lake, Ike and Davis, and don't know what they got coming up. But Moses Lake's got some good, young, talented kids who played last year, so we'll see what they can bring to the table this year.
Wenatchee head coach Scott Devereaux says it's pretty cool to have these two rivals who are right across the river from each other be favored to win the Big Nine. But he says, hey, Eastmont is the defending champion, and he got to make the Wildcats the preseason #1 team.
They won it last year, and until someone knocks them down a notch, then that's where they should be. Their offense, the wing tee, I think some teams in our league maybe haven't figured out quite how to defend it yet. I think we do a pretty good job with that, but you know, Sunnyside we saw at camp, they definitely are lacking a quarterback like they've had in the past, but they still have some great speed on defense. I've heard that West Valley had a good summer. They went to a camp somewhere and played really well. Their quarterback is new and a very good athlete, so we expect to see, you know, them running some of that option stuff with that guy running the ball. And Moses Lake always has great numbers. You know, I'm not sure what they have coming back. They lost their quarterback, who'd been a 3-year starter, so they might look a little different. You know, Eisenhower's been down for a few years. Davis has a brand new coaching staff. So, you know, when you look at the overall Big Nine, I like our chances.
They start playing other teams 2 Fridays from today. The Wenatchee Panthers will host Mount Si. We'll have that game right here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Eastmont Wildcats start their 2019 campaign on the road. They'll be in Tacoma to take on Woodrow Wilson High School. And no, Woodrow Wilson will not be at that game. Of course, we'll be following the Panthers and the Wildcats all season long here on the NCWLIFE channel. Not too early to talk hockey. In fact, the Wenatchee Wild are strapping on the skates tonight. They're in Hope, British Columbia. They'll take on the Chilliwack Chiefs. In fact, they got 3 games north of the border over the weekend. They'll take on the Rivermen from Langley as well up north. And then Sunday, they'll take on Coquitlam in preseason action. The season begins for real for a couple of weeks. They'll take on Merritt in Merritt. The home opener for the Wenatchee Wild will be against Vernon on September 13th. After a stint in the minors, Seattle's number 9 prospect, his name is Justice Sheffield. He'll be back on the mound tonight as the Toronto Blue Jays are in town for a 3-game set. Sheffield was 7-9 in AA and AAA as ERA 4.13. He'll face Toronto's Trent Thornton, who was 4-8 with a 5.30 ERA. Coming up Saturday, King Felix Hernandez finally gets to pitch again. He hasn't pitched since May 11th. He's had a bad shoulder. He gets the start on Saturday. And then former Apple Sock Marco Gonzalez takes the ball for Scott Service to wrap up the series on Sunday. Let's go to the Les Schwab scoreboard from yesterday. In the American League West, Alex Bregman hit a 2-run home run. Garrett Cole struck out 12 over 7 innings. Houston beat Detroit 6-3. Yoan Moncada and James McCann hit back-to-back home runs in a 4-run third inning. That led the White Sox over the Rangers 6-1. Ross Detweiler and 2 relievers combined to hold Texas to 3 hits. And Oakland scored 5 early, then they held on to beat the Yankees 5-3. The A's sweep the 3-game series from New York. The Seattle Seahawks continue training camp, of course, at the VMAC in Renton as they prepare for Game 3 of the preseason. It's tomorrow, taking on the Chargers. Coach Pete Carroll says rookie receiver DK Metcalf underwent knee surgery on Tuesday, but things are looking pretty good.
It was a minimal surgery and minimal findings, so we have high expectations. We'll go week to week with it, see how he does, and we really don't have any concern that he won't get back soon. So we're excited that we got it done. It was the kind of deal we could have put off and waited, but we thought we'd use the time frame that we had available, and hopefully it'll work out just right for us.
Do you have any more optimism or read on him being ready for the start of the regular season?
We're going to go week to week and just see what happens. And I don't think there's no indications that it's going to be a long return. It's going to be a shorter return than long. So we'll see how we can do with this and keep our fingers crossed for him.
Russell Wilson and the starting offensive unit are expected to see quite a bit of action tomorrow night against the Chargers. But also Pete Carroll says Geno Smith will be the backup tomorrow night, not Paxton Lynch.
Paxton's, we're going to hold him out this week. Didn't quite make it back yet, and passing all of the protocol and all, and we're just going to take care of him. I think it's a good idea. Gino needs to play a lot, and so it'll work out. But really, this is because we want to take care of Paxton. He took a nasty hit. His neck's still sore.
Our own Eric Granstrom is in Southern California to produce the game broadcast on the Seahawks radio network. Eric and Steve Rabel will have a special guest in the booth tomorrow. Joel McHale, the actor and the comedian, is going to join the gang. He's going to do color commentary throughout tomorrow night's radio broadcast. McHale grew up in the Seattle area, graduated from Mercer Island High School, and eventually the University of Washington. He actually walked on as a tight end for the Huskies. Of course, he hosts Talk Soup. He starred on Community, was most recently featured on Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. He took to his Twitter page to make the announcement.
Oh, hi, everyone. It's me, Prince Harry, and I am here to announce that this Sunday I will be broadcasting on Seahawks Radio the entire Seahawks game with the legend Steve Rabel. That's right. Somehow the Seahawks have made a horrible mistake and are allowing me on the radio for the entire broadcast. It's a dream come true for me, and I'm sure a nightmare for a lot of Seahawks fans out there. But I am deeply excited, and I'll see you on Saturday. Seahawks versus Chargers. They'll be playing in a soccer stadium. All right. I'm so excited that I rented this creepy horror film motel room in Oklahoma. All right. See you on Saturday. Thanks, Steve. Go Seahawks.
The Seahawks radio network consists of 67 stations in 6 states, mostly in the western United States, and 1 province. I'm assuming British Columbia, not Nova Scotia. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday. Grant, back to you.
Dan, thank you very much. And finally tonight, Charter College East Wenatchee recently held its graduation ceremony at the Red Lion Hotel in Wenatchee. Wenatchee campus president David Barshis welcomed the graduates and their families. He was joined on stage by Mary DeWolf, lead medical assistant instructor, Cynthia Bazan, medical assistant instructor, and Marcus Bingham, student success instructor. The keynote speaker was local Dr. Glenn Hoey, a naturopathic doctor who provides holistic health and wellness options to the residents of the Wenatchee Valley and the surrounding areas. The student speaker was Melinda Selby, a medical assistant graduate and President's Award recipient. And congratulations to all the Charter College graduates. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@NCWLIFE.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.